Oh my God. This is the dumbest argument I have ever heard for Rookie of the Year. By the way, I think it is so tight between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But my Rookie of the Year is going based on the standings. Based on the standings. So are you also gonna be taking Alyssa Thomas, Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier over AJ Wilson, by the way? Rookie of the Year is based on standings. Have you guys seen the standings? Oh, you conveniently say it's based on standings today. Conveniently say it's based on standings today. When 2 days ago the Fever were ahead of them. It is 7 wins, 11 losses versus 8 and 13. 38.1% win percentage versus 38.9. There is a half a game difference. There is a half a game difference. By the end of the season, that is literally like saying that if a team goes, let's just say hypothetically, they're on track to win the same amount of games, by the way. They're actually on track to win the same amount of games. And also the Chicago Sky have had an easier run up to this point. The Chicago Sky played the Aces. Like, if you haven't seen, the Chicago Sky, of their 7 wins, they have beaten one team above 500. In fairness, so have the Phoenix Mercury. But Chicago Sky, so have the Indiana Fever, who Phoenix Mercury were above 500 when they beat them. But Chicago Sky have a 50% win rate. Is it 50%? I mean, just above that over the losing teams. Whereas the Sky have only lost, or the Fever have only lost to the Sky once and the Sparks once. But the Sky have played the Dream twice, 1-1. Fever have played the Dream twice. The Sky have played the Wings 3 times. 3 times. The Sky have had the easier run-in so far. The Sky have faced, in fairness, they faced the Lynx once. They faced the Sun twice. They faced the Liberty twice. And the Aces once. The Storm, the Sky have faced once. The Fever have played the Storm 3 times. They have not played the Lynx. They have played the Aces twice. They've played the Sun 3 times. And they're about to play the Liberty for the 4th time tomorrow. The Fever have the easier run-in. And there is a half a game difference. This is the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Because you literally just sat there waiting. They're in the playoffs. They both suck. They both suck. Let's just say it like it is. Both of these teams are garbage. Not only that. The Sky were a better team last year than the Fever were. And yeah, I get it. They lost Kat Copper, but they got Kennedy Carter. The Sky were a better team than the Fever were. And okay, yeah, 4, and even in the last 10 games, 6-4 versus 4-6. The only difference is that the Fever were ahead of the Chicago Sky. They were ahead of the Chicago Sky, by the way. 2 days ago. The difference is the Fever played the Aces and the Sky played the Dream. And it's a Dream without Ryan Howard. With Ryan Howard, the Fever beat the Dream. With Ryan Howard, the Dream beat the Sky. This is the dumbest argument I've ever seen. This makes no sense. I'm not, just from where he is, I'm not going to read his comment. Chet should have gotten Rookie of the Year over Wemby. I don't really care. Like, I'm going with Angel Reese because team stats. I'm going with Angel Reese because the team would pick 5th in the draft has a better record. There's a half a game difference. There is a half a game difference. What are we doing? This is the dumbest argument ever, and I get it, Monica McNutt. You are hardcore on the side of Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark, and that's fine. That is actually fine. Being pro Angel Reese is completely fine. That is fine. If you want to say Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark, fine. There is nothing. Angel Reese has been good enough the years against that. But this is BS. This is absolute BS. You are just talking nonsense. You are talking absolute nonsense. When have we ever based Rookie of the Year on record? And when have we ever based Rookie of the Year based on one game? One game, not even one game. Sorry, they're not even one game back. I thought they were one game back. No, they're a half a game back. They're a half game back. If you think Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year, cool. If you think Caitlin Clark is Rookie of the Year, cool. They've both been incredible. But basing it on this, Chicago Sky are going to the playoffs because they're a half a game ahead. And oh yeah, cool. And do you want to know, in the Commissioner's Cup standings, I actually think Indiana being 3rd in the Commissioner's Cup and Chicago Sky being 5th in the Commissioner's Cup. I actually think then, when the games really mattered in the Commissioner's Cup, the Indiana Fever were actually better than the Chicago Sky. But then you could also say, they were 1-4, but it doesn't matter because just look at the plus minus. Look at the plus minus. They were minus 43. It doesn't matter they had a winning record. They were minus 43. It meant that they're just not as good. Are you hearing how dumb both of my arguments sound? They're equally as dumb as saying that a half a game is the reason for a Rookie of the Year. If you think Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year because you think she's the best rebounder, she's the best rebounding rookie the WNBA has ever seen, you're saying that her defense is being great for the team, great. If you want to think Rookie of the Year, or Caitlin Clark is Rookie of the Year because her team, or she's leading her team in basically everything, or she's leading the team, not even in everything, but leading the team, is top 20 in all 5 counting stats, and she's basically the best pass first point guard in the WNBA. Cool. But like, this is the dumbest argument I've ever heard. This is the single dumbest argument I've ever heard. And this is the people, like, this is somebody that has like gotten defense from everything. She's on Get Up right now. Like, she's somebody that, what was it? When Shannon Sharp and whatever happened, there was something that happened there. But like, how dumb do you have to be to make that argument? And she's not dumb, by the way. She's not dumb. Monica McNutt knows, she is incredibly smart. She knows that people aren't going to look people aren't going to look at the context of the standings. The fact that the Indiana Fever have had a much more difficult start to the season, and the Chicago Sky are half a game ahead of them. Who is the better team? They both suck. Both of these teams suck. But at the end of the day, the Indiana Fever benefit from not making the playoffs because they get their lottery pick, and they're more than likely going to get a top 2 pick. The Chicago Sky do not benefit from not being in the playoffs, because they don't have their pick. No matter how they do, their pick goes to the Dallas Wings. So for them, they need to win as many games as possible. For the Fever, ironically, them being in the playoffs is better for them. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, who's going to have the better record? I don't know, but they're probably going to be within 2 games of each other. We have never seen an MVP or Rookie of the Year race decided over 2 games before. 2 games. And that's, I think, the most will be. One way or the other. And by the way, if, let's just say hypothetically, who, I think are both of them playing tomorrow? Are both of these teams playing tomorrow? So, the Sky are playing the Storm, not going to win. They're playing the Storm tonight. The Sky are not, like, they're plus 10 to win tonight. The Sky aren't going to win tonight. Look, if the Sky win tonight and Angel Reese balls out, she's probably overtaken Caitlin Clark in the Rookie of the Year race. By the way, absolutely nothing to do with the team record, but because Angel Reese might just have had a brilliant game. The Indiana Fever, -8. No, this is going to be a 30-point win for New York Liberty. If somehow the Sky lose and the Fever win, Caitlin Clark might go ahead in Rookie of the Year voting. But nothing to do with team record, because they're basically identical, regardless of what happens. The Sky play the Storm again. The Sky could lose those games, and the Fever go and play the Mystics in their next game after that. So if the Sky lose to the Storm twice and the Fever lose to or beat the Mystics, which they should, and suddenly the Fever are ahead of the Mystics, is Monica McNutt going to change her opinion? No. She's of the opinion Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year, and that is completely fine. But if you stand by the Rookie of the Year, right, or that it's based on record, then I'm sorry. Let's look at the standings again. Let's talk about our MVP standings. You see Aja Wilson, who should be unanimous MVP. The Las Vegas Aces, thankfully, they're on a 6-game winning streak, so they're up to 5th. But you know, Jewel Lloyd, Nafisa Collier, Alyssa Thomas, and Breanna Stewart. So you're not having her in your top 4. Based on your logic, Monica McNutt, if you are getting a vote, you cannot have Aja Wilson in your top 4. And you might be saying, oh, but like, why would you ever do that? Exactly, it's a dumb argument. Like, if there's, for example, if the Chicago Sky were 13-6 and the Indiana Fever were 8-13, or 13-8 and 8-13, then there's an argument for team record. When there's a massive discrepancy in team record, you can use team record as an argument. When they have basically an identical record, it's idiotic. And she knows what she's doing. She's on Team Angel Reese. She's on Team Angel Reese, and she's looking for any excuse to hype up Angel Reese. Not just, I think Angel Reese had a better rookie year than Caitlin Clark, which should be the be-all and end-all of the question, because at the end of the day, they both had incredible rookie seasons. Whatever way you side at this point right now, there's no right or wrong answer. But to say it's because of the record, you're being intentionally misleading, intentionally disingenuous. And the fact is that if it's based on 2 teams that are going to be near identical record-wise and are going to be constantly jumping, then you've also dug yourself a hole. You've dug yourself a hole that as of right now, you cannot vote for Aja Wilson. even if they're the 2 seed, because there's only a half a game between. Even if AJ Wilson's a 2 seed, you cannot vote for AJ Wilson right now. And if you do vote for AJ Wilson, Monica McNutt, if you do have a vote, you're a hypocrite. If you say AJ Wilson's MVP until she gets that 1 seed, you've become a complete hypocrite. At the end of the day, nothing wrong with this, just a BS reason, an absolute BS reason.